The division's too weak, and this team will get going, right? We are so in this football world, and really in the world of sports. We look to the recent past to decide how our feelings are on that team. Where you can't do that. You have to look at the entirety and look at the future as well, and look at where it could
It's
go.
like the guy who told me the Minnesota Vikings looked like the best team in football after week 1.
Yeah, you just can't do it. You got to look at the whole body of work, and then you got to project the future of what the team's going to look like when they're fully healthy in the pieces. You can't just look at the record and look at the points and the stats and say that's the team. We know Tom Brady is going to get this offense moving. We know guys are going to get healthier, not healthy because it's still football, but they're going to get healthier to a level where they can actually play and contribute to this team in big ways. If anybody in that lineup I wanted to see get going yesterday, it was G-Man Choi, and he certainly did, especially with that home run in the third, but a double in the fifth as well. So you get the pitching, you get the defense, and somehow I'm optimistic because we're starting over, right? Playoffs are starting. Anything can happen, and we know this Rays team can get hot. They were so inconsistent all season long, but they've got their pieces back, and we've always said all along, if they get the pieces back, and you add in guys who...
Yeah, you know what I didn't expect? I didn't expect them to get all the pieces back and then the offense to look worse than when they were gone.
Maybe it clicks. Maybe it clicks.
Out of nowhere.
But
it hasn't clicked in a while, dude.
The guys who are in this lineup, even though we haven't seen it click consistently in a while, have we seen things from each individual at some point in their career that show us they're good, they can play this game? We have. This team, they match up well with the Guardians. I mean, it's honestly pretty even along the way when you look at the matchups. But there are guys for this team that weren't here before when all the guys were playing consistently. The Jose series, the Bethencourt, who you can put with Mejia. That's your tandem behind the plate, and I like that. I honestly like that than just Zunino. Zunino was so inconsistent. I couldn't trust in the big moment that he would get the home run, even though he had the 30-plus home runs. That's great. I couldn't trust in the moment that he would get it done in the playoffs. But I like having guys like a Mejia and a Bethencourt kind of as that tandem.
I like this Aaron Rodgers that is going to be honest and kind of say, hey, there's going to be things you don't like that I say. And at this point in my career, I don't really care. We all have an ego. We all care about our image. Well, not all of us, but a lot of us care about our image. Aaron Rodgers, is at the point in his career where he's like, I can't win. I think the vaccination and the backlash he got from that was like a real give-up moment for Aaron Rodgers as far as caring what people thought about him. And I respect him for it. And we're going to get to some audio. He was talking to Big Cat from Barstool a little while ago. Or yesterday, actually, is when it dropped. Some funny stuff. Good interview by Big Cat and PFT commentator. But also, Aaron Rodgers was loose. He was having fun. That's the type of Aaron Rodgers that I think a lot of us want to see here.
I mean, dude, you could be dealing with a lot more things right now. You could be Brittany Griner.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Just
walking around in cuffs from, and having to plead guilty for a hash pen, as if 90% of America doesn't walk around with a hash pen.
I'm so confused why they're calling it a hash pen, by the way. I imagine it's not hashish oil. Right?
I don't know, but it's oil. And I mean, what a joke that Brittany Griner is locked away right now in Russia. What an absolute show. What a joke. The first 3 quarters of the game was all Buccaneers.
Yeah. But I said the Bucs would dominate the game and win by at least 2 touchdowns. And in the end, they didn't win by a touchdown.
They should have won. They should have dominated this game and won in a blowout. Unfortunately, Bucs teams, they do this. A lot of teams do this where they kind of,
Yeah, look around the league. There's a lot of this stuff going on.
Yeah, where you go up.
Philly yesterday.
Yep, and teams kind of fall back a little bit, and they get a little comfortable, and then the comeback happens. We've seen that with the Lions in almost every game except for yesterday.
Comfortable or bored, apparently.
Yeah, but if you're Devin White, maybe a little bored. We'll get to those comments in just a bit. But this is why when we talk about the struggles, and the offense was incredible yesterday, but you got to finish. When you're in the red zone, you have to finish.
Yeah.
You have to get into the end zone. And early on, it looked like, okay, Leonard Fournette gets in. Great drive, 13 plays.
He was incredible, Leonard Fournette. I wouldn't even say the offense is incredible. To me, this offense, when the weapons they have, I need more than 21 points for me to call you incredible.
Yeah, but the guys like Scotty Miller finally showed up. Chris Godwin was really good. Mike Evans, when he was needed, was good. The guys were there. They showed up. I saw, you're right, Leonard Fournette was special, but when you get in the red zone, you cannot just say, okay, we get stopped, Ryan suck-up time. You got to score. You got to put it in and really not let a team like the Falcons have a chance to come back late in that game. But Cade Otton, really enjoyed watching him break out yesterday. Maybe the up-and-comer for Tom Brady as far as the tight end position.
This is one of the most bizarre stories, and we've seen a lot of them come out of golf recently, especially with this Live Golf Tour. But Jason Kokrak was playing last week and found himself on the 18th hole, and he wasn't going to make the cut at TPC River Highlands. He wasn't going to make the cut. So for some odd reason, on 18, he wasn't playing the hole very well. He was about 43 yards left of the hole. All he's got to do is finish the hole, even without making the cut, and you turn in your scorecard, you're done. You've already played 2 rounds. On 18, he sails his 43-yard shot over the green,
a little bit
out of bounds onto the side of the street. And instead of just taking a drop and a penalty and finishing off the hole, which would have taken 5 minutes, he decides to just walk off. He disappeared. He just left. He grabbed his bag, didn't finish off the scorecard, obviously, and left the event. If this is true, and Jason Kokrak is joining the Live Golf Tour.
I like to say his name differently. I think it sounds like more fun.
You want to say it?
No, I don't think I should on the radio. Yeah. Sounds like a good place to put your coat, though.
So if he joins this tour, man, and walks off, if I'm the PGA Tour, I'm never letting him come back. You know, a lot of the other guys, after this, I'm never letting him come back. Some of the other guys, Dustin Johnson, whatever, like those guys, the tour will open arms, bring them back. But
quickly.
But if you're Jason Kokrak, who just walked off, it showed no respect for the game of golf, which, by the way, I don't agree with his move. As funny as it is, as strange and bizarre as it is, and I love those stories in sports, it's rude. As someone who showed yesterday, I have my principles when it comes to golf, right? Keep time moving, keep everything moving. There's respect for the game. Leaving and not finishing your round, disrespectful to the game. But it kind of like sets up this, narrative. At least maybe I'm just setting it up for myself. You got the Live Golf Tour, like the bad boys of golf, right?
Is that what it is?
They're like the rebels. They're the bad boys. And like Jason Kokrak's like, screw this. I'm out. Boom. Sergio Garcia, like they made him walk across the bridge. They didn't time it the right way, and he was pissed, and he was like, later. Like these are the bad boys of golf. Doesn't mean you like them, but they're the heels. These are the heels now.
I don't know. It sounds too cool.
Are they not the heels? Green Bay Packers. They can't afford to lose Aaron Rodgers to a drug suspension because they lose Aaron Rodgers, they're stuck with Jordan Love, and who knows how that will go. Maybe in the future we'll find out. Maybe not. Maybe the Green Bay Packers wasted a first-round pick and a trade-up on Jordan Love. But Aaron Rodgers, if you missed it, he admitted on a podcast, he said that he took ayahuasca, which is a hallucinogenic drink that he took. I don't know if that's the only form you can get it in, but he took it as a drink. He took it during an off-season retreat that he did before both of his MVP seasons. Now, we were wondering, and we were speculating on the show, if that would potentially be a violation of the NFL's drug policy. Well, we found out that it is not. It's not considered a violation because NFL spokesman Brian McCarthy said yesterday it would not have triggered a positive test result on either the substance abuse or performance-enhancing substance policies that are in the collective bargaining agreement between the NFL and the Players Association. Maybe it should be. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers is dropping ayahuasca and churning out 2 MVP seasons back-to-back at his age, maybe ayahuasca should be on the list of performance-enhancing drugs. I don't know.
And it was just embarrassing. I mean, the lack of production and guys who were made for this moment. Wander Franco. Where was Yandy Diaz? Where was Manny Margot, who I thought was going to have to be vital? He didn't come through when he had some opportunities.
Didn't that 15th, though.
Yeah, he got the hit in the 15th, but overall, not good. Why were guys like Vidal Brujan, who I didn't even think should have been on this roster in the playoffs, the only guy who was showing me life in this elimination game.
That's insane.
It's insane. Looking good in the field, on the base pass, making moves to steal bases, get to second base, try to do anything to help this team score. But nobody else was willing to show up yesterday or over the weekend for this entire series. And situational hitting, moving guys over. It was
what is that?
The hitting in general.
What is that? What is that phrase you just used though?
And you can't situationally hit if you don't have guys on base, which for a lot of the game they didn't. It was ugly all around. Class now is great. I wish he could have gone more than 5 innings, but he couldn't. And really, the pitching didn't matter. The pitching was incredible. When you go 14 innings without giving up a run, and then you give it up in the 15th, you got everything you could have asked for out of the pitching staff. Shame on the offense for not doing anything, not figuring it out.
But we do have some breaking news here out of the NFL. Very interesting. From Adam Schefter 2 minutes ago. The NFL ruled that the Dolphins had impermissible communications with quarterback Tom Brady in 2019 and 2020 while he was under contract to the New England Patriots. Those communications began as early as August 2019, and they continued throughout the 2019 season and postseason. The NFL also said the Dolphins had impermissible communications with both Mr. Brady and his agent during and after the 2021 season while he was still under contract to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Those discussions focused on Tom Brady becoming a limited partner in the Dolphins. In 2022 of January, this is recently, the Dolphins had impermissible communications with Don Yee, the agent for Saints head coach Sean Payton, about having Sean Payton serve as Miami's head coach.
So everything Mike Florio said?
Every single thing Mike Florio said that we brought him on and made fun of him for circumstantial evidence was, in fact...
Which this line was still funny.
Correct. Do we have his number? We should call him and
Of course I have Mike Florio's number. Tom Brady's coming to kill everyone after this report.
Do you think that Tom... It says here Tom was going to be a limited partner. So, was he going to play court? Because from Florio, it seemed like Tom was going to go with he wanted to play quarterback for them as well. Both. Yeah. But.
Which is hard to imagine.
From this, it seems that he was just going to be a limited partner. So you may be asking the question, well, what will the punishment be here? Well, if you're watching on Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube, 95.3 WDAE, great executive producer Chris Mathis has that up on the screen. Here's what's going to happen to the Dolphins. The NFL stripped the Dolphins of their 2023 first-round draft pick.
Wow.
Huge. And 2024 third-round pick for violating the integrity of the game. Owner Stephen Ross also suspended through October 17th and fined pennies, $1.5 million. So pennies. Like a lot of the arguments in golf on the course happen because of pace of play. Go figure.
I'm sorry, with millions of dollars on the line? Like, shut up and wait a minute.
You know what? And that's where you're right. There is a difference because there's nothing more annoying. When we're at a course, when I'm at a course, the greens beat the hell. There's holes everywhere. And I'm watching some guy who's on his 13th shot on that hole, getting on his knees and eyeing down a 15-foot putt. As if, one, you're going to make it. No. Two, as if it's going to impact your 12 or 13 and make your score any better.